Hello, I'm Brian O'Hare, President of the FBI Agents Association. On behalf of the FBIAA's National Executive Board and our over 14,000 special agent members and their families, thank you for joining us for the 7th Annual G-Man Honors Awards, and thank you for your continued support of the association's charities. Obviously, I wish we could all be together in person for this year's G-Man Honors. Over the past 7 years, we have used the G-Man Honors to come together, celebrate our FBI family, and support the FBIAA's two important charities, the Memorial College Fund and the Membership Assistance Fund. This year's G-Man Honors may be different in form, but it still serves those vitally important functions. Tonight, you will have an opportunity to support the association's charitable work and to hear from Director Wray, the children and families of agents who our charities serve, and from this year's recipient of the FBIAA Distinguished Service Award, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Anytime you get this many FBI family members together, you will hear the following words repeated numerous times: fidelity, bravery, integrity. These words have been the FBI's motto since 1935, and they mean more now than ever. They tell us that when times are toughest, we must focus on our core values and, as Director Wray likes to say, focus on doing the right thing in the right way. The G-Man Honors is part of that commitment, particularly this year. The challenges of 2020 have reminded all of us that when our country is confronted by threats, whether they come in the form of terrorists or a virus, we are all on the front lines. From special agents who have continued working complex investigations throughout the pandemic to the grocery clerks who make sure families stay fed, we are all in this together. From the students your contributions help put through college to Dr. Fauci and countless others in the medical profession. All of the people you will hear from tonight are part of the extended FBI family, and so are you. Your support of the G-Man Honors allows the FBIAA's charities, the Memorial College Fund, and the Membership Assistance Fund to serve as a crucial safety net for FBI families. This is fidelity, bravery, and integrity in action. Thank you. A few special thanks. First and foremost, you will see and hear from a number of families of fallen agents who are participating in this year's G-Man Honors. To every one of you, I say, thank you. Your sacrifices humble us and drive us. We couldn't host this event or run our association without our National Executive Board, special agents who work full-time protecting our country and also contribute countless hours in order to help their fellow agents. They are Wes Wheeler, Natalie Barra, Lisa Ryder, Corey Grass, Pat McMonigal, and Chris Kelly. Thank you. A special thanks also to Tracy Bannon, our Membership and Development Director. And my last thank you is also an introduction. I would like to both thank and introduce the FBIAA's new Executive Director, Gene O'Connor. Gene is a former trustee of the FBIAA Memorial College Fund and a retired FBI special agent who, together with previous FBIAA President Tom O'Connor and others, spearheaded the effort to ensure FBI employees suffering from 9/11 related illnesses receive the care and recognition they deserved. Ladies and gentlemen, FBIAA Executive Director Gene O'Connor.
Thank you, Brian. We are all called to serve our FBI family for different reasons. For me, being a trustee for the Memorial College Fund was something very meaningful and personal. When I was a rising senior in high school, I lost my father to cancer, and with that came the uncertainty of my college education. When I became an agent and saw my FBI coworkers and friends make the ultimate sacrifice, it reminded me of how I felt when I was younger, and it motivated me to find a way to provide support to their families in times of need. One of the most important things we can do is to ensure children receive a college education and a more secure future. As a part of that tradition, we are honored to be joined, virtually of course, by FBI Director Chris Wray for a very special discussion with the families of FBI heroes. Director Wray assumed leadership of the Bureau in August of 2017, and over the past 2 years, the FBIAA has watched Director Wray confront a range of challenges with remarkable focus and clarity. Director Wray has been a strong leader of and reliable partner with special agents and the FBI Agents Association. The bottom line is that there is no question that our country is a safer place because of Director Wray's leadership. Director Wray is joined by a group of very special guests. We have with us a representation of past, present, and future recipients of the Memorial College Fund. Each one has lost an FBI special agent parent, but not the FBIAA family. Director Wray will make a few comments before taking some questions. Ladies and gentlemen, FBI Director Chris Wray.
It's a great honor to meet with all of you, even if virtually. I will confess that COVID has, of course, turned so many of my meetings and events virtual, and it's still a little tough getting used to, and I'm sure you all feel the same way. I will say that the silver lining of this remote setting is that we're able to talk while being physically located all across the country in Detroit, Boston, Sacramento, Dallas, Charlotte, and of course here in DC. So thanks to all of you for participating today. And I especially want to thank Jean for helping facilitate this call and the whole FBI Agents Association for all the phenomenal work they do, especially in raising money each year for the Memorial College Fund. The FBIAA can't take away the pain of losing a parent, of course, nothing can, but they do in a number of ways take over the role of protector, of trying to carry through on a wish that every parent has, that their kids go to college. They alleviate the burden of having to pay for college and help you achieve some of your dreams. And as a parent myself of kids in their early 20s, I know well, and we all know that that is no small gift. But I'd like to talk maybe today a few minutes about why all of you mean so much to us at the FBI, and then I look forward to, as Jean said, to taking some of your questions. So people in the FBI family, we all often talk about what it means to be an FBI agent, the immense honor of carrying the badge, but also it means long hours, time away from loved ones, missed special occasions and relocations that impact the entire family. It also brings, of course, the responsibility of always doing the right thing and of serving others, namely the American people, 24/7. It means a willingness to run toward danger when most people run away from it. And tragically, for some, it means not coming home at all after confronting that danger or being involved in an accident while on duty, or becoming sick years after working round the clock like the recovery efforts following 9/11. And it's a role that agents choose, a burden they assume without question, but we don't talk often enough probably about what it means to be the child of a fallen agent, a child of somebody who gave his or her life in service. Or just as heartbreaking and no less of a loss to be the child of a fallen agent from an accident or illness. And for those of you here today, that wasn't your choice. And I know that there's not a single day of your loss that's been easy, but I do hope that you can find some comfort knowing that your moms and dads gave their lives in service to others, upholding the oath that they took long ago to protect their communities and everyday Americans trying to live their lives, to make our neighborhoods safer, to keep kids out of harm's way, and to keep criminals and terrorists, of which there's no shortage of supply, from hurting us. Pride in your parents doesn't take away the sadness. But I do hope it helps knowing that your moms and dads were really good people doing really good work. Being the child of a fallen special agent doesn't define who you are, but it is part of your identity. And that's an identity that has intertwined, if you will, your DNA with all of ours here in the FBI family. In that sense, you're one of us, and we, side by side with the Agents Association, are here to help you along the way through life's many ups and downs. And I hope you will look to us for help, because you're always going to be part of the FBI family, and you're always going to be connected to us. As one example, I recently received a really nice note from one of you, who I won't embarrass by name, but you know who you are. And you talked about how your dad was your best friend, about how much he meant to you and how much the Bureau meant to him, and how supportive your dad's fellow agents were to you and to your family when he died. They spoke so highly of your dad and told stories about how great he was as an agent, as a person, as a friend. That is the essence of the FBI family, and that's a part of your parents' legacy. Some of you have already graduated college and have gone into law, consulting. Others are working in the tech sector and the medical field. And one of you even became an FBI agent. And I know that your moms and dads would be incredibly proud of all of you, just as we in the FBI all are. And I know I speak for all of us when I say that we can't wait to see what comes next and where you go from here. And so thanks so much for joining me today, albeit virtually. And remember, as I said, that you're always part of our family here at the FBI.
My name is Zoe Williams, and I'm in 8th grade in Alexandria, Virginia. My dad was an FBI agent in D.C., and I am the oldest of 3 sisters. My question is, what do you think are the most important qualities of a good leader?
I guess there's a few things I would say. So first, in the context of leadership and the most effective leadership, there's a book that I often cite to audiences inside the FBI called Good to Great, that did this big study and found kind of what qualities the most transformative leaders had. And what they found over and over again was that, in fact, it's not what most popular press and conventional wisdom would have you believe a good leader looks like. It turns out, just sort of summarizing the book, that the best leaders are what the book calls plow horses, not show horses. People who are, again, sort of in the words of the book, people who are ambitious, absolutely ambitious, but more ambitious for the organization and the mission as opposed to ambitious for themselves personally. And then, last but not least, people who combined this sort of strange mix of personal humility with professional will. So plow horse, not show horse, ambitious for the organization, not for yourself, personal humility, and professional will. I've thought about these things more and more over the last few years, and there's, I guess, a few other things that sort of fit with that I think about a lot. I heard somebody quote former President Eisenhower the other day, who said, and I'm not going to get the quote exactly right, but you'll get the gist, is that, leaders think not about me and today, they think about us and tomorrow. And I think in some ways that's sort of consistent with what I was just sort of describing about good to great. And then because of the last point I'll make on this, I guess, is just given the kind of year that we've been having in 2020, this one really struck me, because I feel like we're constantly dealing with one set of challenges after another, one stiff headwind after another, if you will. And I saw this quote the other day where somebody said, a pessimist complains about the wind. An optimist expects the wind to change, but a leader adjusts the sails. And I think all those things that I just sort of ticked off to me kind of all fit together in terms of what I think we're looking for inside the FBI for the leaders we have here.
My name is Lauren Fink. My father was an agent. He was the firearms instructor in DFW. And we lost him when I was 16. And the Memorial College Fund has put both me and my brother through college and helped me graduate last year. So the question that I have for you is what's some of the best advice that you received at the beginning of your career for any career or life in general?
So it's interesting, as I said at the beginning, I have kids in their early 20s who are starting to make their way professionally. And sometimes I feel like giving them advice. I'm not always clear on whether or not they want to listen to my advice. But I think one of the best pieces of advice that I got that I think applies to everybody, no matter what you want to do, frankly, it's in short supply in this country, is the importance of listening. We've got a lot of people in this country who like to talk. And I think we've got enough people who are talking, maybe too many people who are talking. We don't have enough people who are actually listening. And if you think about it, especially early in your career, you don't really learn much by talking. You learn a lot by listening. And I don't mean passive, like potted plant listening. I mean, listening and asking questions, just like you all here are. That's how you learn. But even when you're not asking questions, really kind of listening and seeing what other people have to say. It doesn't mean you have to agree with everything they have to say, but kind of using that to kind of build out your own knowledge and approach to life and work, I think is something that would stand everybody in good stead. I guess the other things I would say are that some of the cliches or the things that we're all told when we're little really are true. I mean, there's a reason for cliches that if you work hard, really hard, that if you treat everybody you come into contact with decently, and if you do the right thing in the right way, I don't mean just like here and there, but if all you do those things, work hard, treat everybody decently, no matter who they are, and do the right thing in the right way, just over and over and over and over again, good things come from that. I really do believe that.
My name is Kyle Roth. I am the fifth child and youngest of Special Agent Bob Roth. All four of my siblings have either been in and graduated or are currently in the Memorial Fund. And my question for you is, how have you seen the FBI Agents Association positively affect and help the agents inside of the agency and its family?
So I think there's probably the first thing that I think of when I think of the Agents Association is, of course, the Memorial College Fund that all of you know all too well, and that we've already talked about some, and that, of course, your family knows intimately. I think if I was going to add something to that, I think one thing that I'm particularly struck by is the Membership Assistance Fund, which is also enormous help to its members in whether it's a natural disaster or a cancer diagnosis or some kind of tragic accident. That fund enables the Agents Association to provide funds to help with things like housing or transportation or even in some cases replacement of household goods. Just to pick an example, I heard a story the other day of where the fund helped cover the cost of a medevac flight from Pennsylvania to Texas for a critically ill child of an agent. Those kind of things enable the association and the FBI family to help others in the FBI family in some of their worst times. And not only is that unbelievably impactful on those families and those people, but it's I dare say, incredibly rewarding for the people who have contributed to provide that help. They get something out of it too, in terms of knowing that they've made that kind of.
Your support tonight not only benefits the FBI Agents Association Memorial College Fund, it also goes to benefit the FBI Agents Association Membership Assistance Fund, which is there in times of need for people like former FBI Special Agent Lauren Schuler.
I was at the vet with my cat, who was sick, and the vet was late in coming into the office for our visit. And when he came in, he said that he apologized that he was watching the TV back in the back because an airplane had hit one of the twin towers. The vet knew what I did for a living. We checked me out quickly, and I said I needed to go. On the way home, and I hear that a third plane had hit the Pentagon. And I have to honestly say I burst into tears because I just knew at that point, somehow our country was under attack and we were never going to be the same country again. And I knew, myself, I was going to have to respond to one of those sites because I was on our evidence response team at the Baltimore office of the FBI. We all realized how serious this was, and, we wanted to be respectful to the human remains that we had. You leave a little bit of yourself there. I felt honored that I could be somebody that would protect the families and friends of those people who were killed that day, in seeing what had actually happened. I was the one that could actually go in there with my coworkers and collect, all of that information in a respectful way and protect them from seeing that. And I felt all over the years, I felt honored to be somebody who was able to do that, and I would do it all over again. The thing that I recollect that I knew might cause me problems is the one day that I walked from the outside of the Pentagon to the inside where the nose of the plane was, and we walked through all the water that had come down from putting out the fires, and the chemicals and the jet fuel and everything. And the boots that I had happened to put on that day, they were ERT boots, weren't waterproof. So the water was sloshing into my boots and my feet, and I just thought that this couldn't be good, but I had to do my job. And I thought, if anything could happen, it would be from that day. It never occurred to me that cancer or something 20 years later, could occur. Unfortunately, many years of passing and people are getting sick now. And we're learning now that those illnesses are definitely created by all of the things that we inhaled and sloshed through and touched and got into our skin. We did the bone marrow biopsy about a week later, and the results of that showed definitively that I had multiple myeloma, which is a blood cancer, which had caused this amyloidosis, which is like a sticky substance, to build up in my kidneys, and were causing my kidneys to fail. And I had to explain this all to my kids. My kidneys might come back, but they might not, and then I'm going to end up on something called dialysis. My husband was probably more worried because he certainly understands the nuances of cancer, more as a grown-up than they do. Financially, I wasn't sure how I was going to handle this. The FBI Agents Association has come to me like a family in supporting me and my family during this situation. They've been there for me financially and, just emotionally, supporting me and encouraging me to go on and, to press forward and to fight this cancer. The time frame, I'm never sure of. I'd love to say that it's going to be by the end of the year, but I've been saying that for the last 3 years. so I'm just I do see the light at the end of the tunnel now. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but I'm certain that it is going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. I feel that the FBI family has been bigger family to me since I've retired, and I've been part of this big family more so as a retired FBI agent. I wish that I would have noticed that more when I was healthy and paid more attention and been more appreciative, I think, of everybody while I was healthy and working at the office. I'm certainly almost speechlessly grateful. I don't have the words to express how grateful I am at their being there for me, certainly through my illness.
Fidelity, bravery, integrity. More than just words when you see those students talking to Director Wray. More than just words when you see the names of many of their parents on the FBI Wall of Honor. More than just words when you think about the fact that right now, as you watch this event, there are agents out there putting their lives on the line in the midst of this pandemic. The G-Man Honors is about more than just words. It is about supporting the FBIAA's 2 charities, and we need your continued help. Through the Memorial College Fund, we have awarded nearly $9 million in scholarships and have helped more than 260 children achieve their college dreams. Right now, we are planning to provide funds to 60 students in upcoming school years. And unfortunately, we know that there will be even more students needing our help because we will suffer more losses from events we can't predict and from ongoing tragedies such as illnesses connected to the 9/11 investigations. Through the Membership Assistance Fund, we have provided nearly $1 million to help FBI families in crisis, with more than $275,000 going to 65 FBI families over the last year. This fund helps ensure that the FBI family is there for each other when there is crisis, such as a natural disaster, a medical emergency, or other tragedy. We need your continued support. The truth is that every dollar matters. Think about the very real impact that your support can have on the lives of members of our FBI family. Every dollar you give to help the FBIAA's charities can help a student afford a book or a laptop they need to take classes, and together our dollars add up to semesters and years in college, eventually resulting in our students' diploma. In the Membership Assistance Fund, every dollar can help an FBI family pay for an emergency medical treatment not covered by insurance, or provide the supplies they need to rebuild after a hurricane, flood, or fire. We greatly appreciate you taking the time to support the FBIAA charities. Here is how you can help.
Thank you for your support tonight, and you can help the FBI Agents Association charities right now. To help us now, text FBIAA to 50155. That's FBIAA to 50155. After you text, you'll receive information about how you can contribute any amount that you desire to help the 2 charities that you've learned about tonight. For more information and also to contribute to the charities, you can go to fbiaa.org/donate. Again, that's fbiaa.org/donate. Thank you.
The FBIAA has had the honor of presenting our Distinguished Service Award to some of our nation's most outstanding leaders. And this year, I am truly pleased to present the award to a person who is likely to be familiar to everyone, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Policymakers, medical professionals, and the public have relied on Dr. Fauci's wisdom and leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic. He certainly understands what it means to be on the front lines of a very unique war against a deadly virus. And Dr. Fauci has shown all Americans what fidelity, bravery, and integrity looks like in the medical world. Fidelity is about remaining steadfast and true. Dr. Fauci has served our country since joining the National Institutes of Health in 1968, advising 6 different presidents on some of the most difficult health problems confronting our nation, from HIV/AIDS to Ebola to COVID-19. Bravery is remaining focused on your mission, no matter the challenges or obstacles. Dr. Fauci has spent decades showing bravery on the front lines of some of the most difficult health challenges facing our country and our world. Working together with his critics, he developed testing protocols and treatments that enabled people with HIV to lead long and active lives. He also led the effort to develop effective strategies for confronting bioterrorism threats in the wake of the 9/11 attacks. Finally, integrity is doing your work in a way that sets standards of excellence and ethics for all. The evidence of Dr. Fauci's integrity is overwhelming. He earned the trust of presidents, the public, and his peers. Dr. Fauci is one of the most frequently cited scientists in the world. He has received nearly 3 dozen honorary doctorate degrees from universities in the U.S. and around the globe, and he is a recipient of the National Medal of Science and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Dr. Fauci's commitment to doing things the right way is both inspirational and unsurpassed. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to present this year's Distinguished Service Award to someone who embodies the principles of fidelity, bravery, and integrity, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Thank you, Agent O'Hare, for that very kind introduction, and warm greetings to you all. It gives me great pleasure to address the FBI Agents Association because I have long admired and respected the FBI as an organization and its agents who abide by the alternative meaning of the letters FBI: fidelity, bravery, and integrity. As a physician scientist and public health leader, I have fought outbreaks of infectious diseases for decades, going back to the emergence of HIV in 1981 through the anthrax attacks, SARS, pandemic influenza, Ebola, Zika, and now COVID-19. Your core qualities are guiding lights in biomedicine too. When we are faced with a formidable enemy, the one invisible to the naked eye, like SARS-CoV-2, we must pull together, be in the fight together, take care of one another, and be guided by the integrity of the scientific evidence. So it is truly humbling, and I am thrilled to be honored by my FBI heroes with this Distinguished Service Award from your association. My career in public service evolved from my upbringing. In my experience, many Italian-American immigrants who came to America were imbued with a spirit of gratitude, a love of this country that welcomed them, passed on from grandfather to father to grandson. That certainly was the spirit instilled in me, originating from my grandfather. So I had a strong desire to give back. And my way of doing that was choosing public service. My decision to become a physician was influenced by my experience as a young boy, delivering prescriptions for my father, a pharmacist known back then as Doc to our Brooklyn neighbors. I also had the honor and good fortune to receive a Jesuit education, and I happily immersed myself in its intellectual rigor, but also took to heart its emphasis on social justice and service to others. Drawing on my 36 years of experience as director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, a few insights into important aspects of leadership can be identified that I believe bear on our current public health response to the COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 poses the biggest threat to global health in more than 100 years. Moreover, the U.S. pandemic recently has reached perilous heights, with the numbers of cases and hospitalizations tragically eclipsing all earlier records. First among these insights is fidelity to the truth, especially those truths revealed by science-based evidence and data. The public needs to hear the truth as it is, rather than as we might want it to be. Over time, truth-telling builds credibility. So, we must always tell the truth even if it means, I do not know. Consistency in truth-telling is critical. Consistency maintains integrity. Second, transparency also is key. From past outbreaks, we know that we earn public trust when we are open and honest and do not withhold information. We must make sure that everyone understands where we are going, what is the goal, and how we are going to get there. We must keep our eyes on our objectives, provide regular public updates, and lead by example. When we falter in transparency, understandably, some people either stop believing what we say or stop listening altogether. Third, we must communicate clearly to achieve understanding. Throughout my career, the Jesuit tenet, precision of thought, economy of expression, has informed how I think, write, and communicate with the public. We must use language that everyone can understand, and it is crucial today that we extend our accessibility to a broad spectrum of audiences via a variety of outlets, traditional media and social media, among others, through which people can get their information. Lastly, we must show compassion for those affected, recognize that we are all in this together, and protect the vulnerable, and work together for the common good. Putting all these principles into practice is essential to building public trust in science as the pathway to resolving the COVID-19 pandemic and ensuring that the fruits of our research, such as vaccines, have the greatest potential benefit. In this regard, we can be heartened by the rapid pace of scientific progress, including the extremely encouraging recent data showing a high degree of efficacy for candidate COVID-19 vaccines in large-scale clinical trials. Never has a vaccine been made in so short a time. A vaccine will not be a magic solution by itself. For some time, we still will need to adhere to simple public health measures, such as universal masking, physically distancing, and avoiding crowds that we know work to stem the virus spread. However, once COVID-19 vaccines are approved to deploy, which could be as early as the end of this year, they will be a powerful tool to help us protect the vulnerable and gradually quell and eventually end the COVID-19 pandemic for everyone, and thus heal and restore our upended lives. So let me say again how grateful I am to be honored by the FBI Agents Association, whose members I have always admired and respected. Please stay safe, keep well, and continue your important and outstanding work.
Every day, special agents continue to serve and protect the American public, oftentimes putting their lives at risk. They work tirelessly against spies, cyber hackers, child pornographers, human traffickers, kidnappers, terrorists, and other criminals to keep us all safer. Every person and company that has made tonight possible has already helped support the FBI family, and we thank them. This is now your opportunity to support these agents and their families into the future. Remember that every single donation and dollar counts in building a brighter future for these heroes and their families. Here are a few of the ways each of you can support our FBI family.
Thank you for your support tonight, and you can help the FBI Agents Association charities right now. To help us now, text FBIAA to 50155. That's FBIAA to 50155. After you text, you'll receive information about how you can contribute any amount that you desire to help the two charities that you've learned about tonight. For more information and also to contribute to the charities, you can go to fbiaa.org/donate. Again, that's fbiaa.org/donate. Thank you.
Thank you for your support of the FBIAA's charities.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you all for joining us tonight and for supporting the FBIAA's charities. Serving as FBIAA president is very special because I am serving my coworkers who are serving the American people. We all do it because we want to serve. Listening to our honored guest tonight has been both humbling and inspiring. Service is about deeds. Deeds like Dr. Fauci's incredible work on the front lines of healthcare. Deeds like Director Wray standing shoulder to shoulder with the men and women of the FBI through good times and bad. Deeds like all of us being there for each other through the association's charities. Thank you again, Director Wray, Dr. Fauci, the folks at the FBIAA who make the G-Man honors happen, and to each and every one of you. See you next year in person.